were discussing about pressure and force. We have seen that forces are of several types: contact force or non-contact force. Now, effect of force is different in different cases. Force can make different effects in different conditions. Suppose you want to cut a wooden block with a blunt axe, it will be difficult. But suppose the axe is very sharp edged, it will be easy to cut. This is because the force of blow of the axe acts on a large part in blunt edge compared to a very small part in sharp edge. Thus, force acting creates different effects. Force per unit area is called pressure. Now suppose a nail is trying to with the head downward on a wooden block, and if we hit the nail wouldn't pierce into the block. But if the edge notch of the nail is kept on the wood and hammered, it goes inside the wood easily. This is because the area here is very small, the area here is very large. The force acting on area makes different effects. Force per unit area is called pressure of the force. Pressure is the effect of force. All materials kept on surface exert pressure because of the force of the weight of the object. Force is also exerted by liquids and gases too. Now, unit is Pascal. Force exerted by liquids and gases. Take a tube. Tie a balloon at the open end of the tube. Put some water inside the tube. The balloon will bulge. Observe the bulging of the balloon. Then add some more water. You will find that the balloon bulges more because there is exerted a larger pressure compared to the previous case. Thus, liquids create pressure on the surface in which they are kept. Now, suppose we have a wooden block or any object on the ground. Because of the weight of the object, it will create pressure on the ground. But suppose we have a wooden block floating in water. downwards, the pressure of the water will be upwards. Water will also create pressure on the sides too. But this pressure created on the sides is equalized, whereas this being greater because of water, the wooden block is made to float on the surface of water. Suppose we put an iron bullet, it will sink down because its weight is greater than the force exerted by water. Deeper you go in water, greater is the pressure. Therefore, the water dams are built in such a way that they are broader at the base. Water dams are made broader at the base because here the pressure of the water is higher. Here the pressure is less. Similarly, gases also exert pressure. We are living in the ocean of air, the atmosphere. The atmosphere creates a pressure on the surface of our body and everywhere. Every square centimeter suffers the force of about weight equal to 1030 grams of weight. If a block is weighing 1030 grams, whatever the weight is fed, that much is the pressure exerted by atmosphere on every square centimeter. But we don't feel this pressure. This is because inside our body there is an equal and balancing pressure maintained by our body structure. Therefore, we do not feel this much pressure. If the outer pressure is removed, the inner pressure can make the body explode. And this is the reason why astronauts going in outer space in vacuum have to use special astronomical space shift, which maintains necessary pressure as it is on the ground of the earth. Thus, liquids and gases also exert pressure. Now, pressure exerted by liquid depends upon the depth. In atmosphere also, as you go higher, the atmospheric pressure naturally decreases. At the bottom, on the surface of the atmosphere, the pressure is highest. Similarly, for any liquid, the pressure at the bottom will always higher. Our heart also exerts pressure on blood. This we call blood pressure. When the heart contracts, it creates pressure on blood mass, and blood is pumped out in the blood vessels in the body. When the heart relaxes, The blood collected by veins, the other blood vessels, is poured inside the heart. Pressure is measured in the height of mercury column. Blood pressure is normally 120 millimeters of mercury, the highest, and 80 millimeters of mercury, the lowest. Thus, pressure is an important physical quantity. It depends on force and area, force acting normally on the surface. So, as the force is greater, the pressure is greater. As the area is greater, the pressure is less. If we reduce the area, the pressure is also increased. So, pressure changes directly as force. As the force increases, pressure increases. Pressure increases inversely with respect to area. If the area increases, the pressure decreases. This is because it is difficult to walk for a cow or a goat on desert soil. But it is very easy to walk on desert or sandy soil by the camels, because the foot of the camel is flattened and having large area. Foot of the camel is flattened, having large area, thereby reducing the pressure exerted by the weight of the body. Whereas for a cat or a goat, the foot is very small. So the pressure exerted by the foot is higher. So it is difficult to walk on sandy soil, but it is very easy for camels to walk on sandy soil. This is because the large area and pad-like structure at the foot of the camel. Liquid pressure depends upon the depth. If the depth is higher, there is a more weight of the liquid. Liquid pressure depends on the type of the liquid. For the liquid like water, the pressure is less compared to the liquid like mercury. Mercury is 13.5 times heavier than water. Therefore, the pressure exerted by mercury is also 13.5 times larger than that generated by water. In liquid, the pressure exerted at bottom depends upon the area of the body. If we have equal height of water and mark that the area of this bottom of both these vessels is same. Though the quantity of the water in this type of vessel, which is broader at the top and smaller at the bottom, is more compared to the liquid that is filled in this type of vessel, which has lesser amount of water compared to this type. But the pressure exerted here and the pressure exerted here will be one and the same, because the depth of the water column is same for both. Thus, the pressure in the liquid depends upon depth. Dear students, here we stop for the day. Remaining part in the next episode.